Welcome to this edition of Weather to Watch. It is the 5th of March, 2025. It came in like a lion, and there's more storminess ahead for the next couple of weeks. Well, here's what I'm watching, and of course, all eyes are on the huge cyclone, the incredibly deep low pressure area that has developed with strong winds around it, blizzard conditions, heavy snows. We'll review all that. Severe storms, a few days of it. It's ready to leave, but I'll show you what's left of it. And also the next system coming into the southwest. And we'll also look down the road to see what this active weather pattern here in March has in store for the U.S. So all eyes on this huge circulation here. Boy, this is just a textbook low pressure area right here with a comma shape to it. And the leading line, the cold front right here with the severe storms along it. Most of that's offshore now. We'll take a look at radar in a second. There's snow, wraparound snow behind this. The next weather system is coming ashore right here. And it's one of many over the next several weeks that I think we'll be dealing with in the U.S., all with a slightly different flavor. And of course, the further we get out, the less detail I have, but I'll show you the long-range model output here in a minute. But let's stop that and go over now to the 500 millibar flow. And this is just to do some meteorology here. This is a very progressive pattern. So this is a trough of low pressure right here in the jet stream level. This right here is a ridge of high pressure, and then we have another trough of low pressure here. And this pattern looks to sustain itself for the next couple of weeks, kind of an alternating pattern of troughs and ridges. And it's very common this time of year in March, springtime, to be able to talk about that. Another thing I'll do here, and I hope you can make this out, I'll advance one more slide. I'm going to add the surface isobars to this. You might not be able to see them. I'll try to outline them, but the low centers right there, they're yellow, and you can see they're tight. So that means strong winds are circulating around this thing. And the reason I do this is because in a textbook sort of way, when you have an upper level low like at the jet stream level here, and you have a surface low here, what's happening is out ahead of this low is a divergent flow aloft, which evacuates air and helps this low to have its central pressure fall, which is why the winds are as strong as they are, among other reasons. And so this is really a textbook example. A cutoff low pressure system and a deeply stacked low would have the surface right there and would be more stagnant. So this is pretty progressive and encourages the deepening of the low, not the weakening or occlusion of the low. So that's some meteorology for you there. Let's look at these wind gusts. And so these have calmed down quite a bit, but I still see very commonly 40 mile per hour wind gusts through Illinois, 30 mile per hour wind gusts pretty common in Missouri and Kansas and up through Iowa. The highest I saw were near 60 mile per hour wind gusts through, Missouri, where I live, and through much of this area here, 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts were pretty common. And there are still wind advisories and high wind warnings in effect from everywhere from Wisconsin, Iowa, and Michigan, all the way down to the central part of Florida. So these cyclones, the cyclogenesis to develop a strong low or a bomb low like this, known for wind, not even counting a thunderstorm or a severe wind with that, just plain old wind, and we'll show you that here right now. Taking a look at the winter side of the storm and the advisory, we still have a blizzard warning in the UP of Michigan, and that's going to be winding down shortly. Winter storm warning south of that, and winter weather advisories through central Wisconsin up into the northern part of the glove or the southern peninsula of Michigan. And then if we just kind of go out this way to the west, we still have winter storm warnings in much of the area of Wyoming, even into Nebraska a little bit. The western part of Colorado, certain areas of Utah, mountainous areas, you can tell by looking at it. And that's what that next weather system that's coming ashore there in the southwest U.S. Okay, we'll look at severe storms. All right, well, this was the outlook for severe weather, which was largely actually 3, 2, 1. Well, this was the outlook from this morning for severe weather. Now, it says tonight here, but actually you can discount much of this now. As you saw, the radar has these storms kind of clearing, so much of this is in the clear now. I probably should have looked at the SPC before I put that graphic up, but this was the forecast for that area today, and it worked out really well to the credit of the Storm Prediction Center. They were nailing it. Looking down the road, what I'm going to show you is the 500 millibar pattern over the next about week or so, and it's looking very spring-like. A lot of activity, a lot of storms passing, some of them deeper south, some of them not so much, warmth and cold. It's a very typical pattern. So we're going to start out with the initialized 500 millibar here, which shows, of course, this strong, very potent system with all the wind. And it's just interesting to watch the maximum wind rotate around the base of this. It's just fascinating. It's why I got into meteorology. But this is what we're going to look at here, by the way, is the GEFS. So this is the ensemble of the global forecast system. So let's just go forward here in time. This is now. And so we're watching this next storm come ashore in California. That's right here. And that's going to take more of a southerly track. It's bringing needed rain and also, as you saw, winter storm warnings to portions of Wyoming and Colorado. So this is good news generally. And the nice thing about this next system is I don't think it's going to be able to tap into much in the way of severe weather in the south. So, typically we'd be watching probably this area down here. But there just isn't really time for moisture return on this thing and instability that goes with it. So I think this one is going to be a rainmaker, but not necessarily a severe weather maker. So this is good. And then if we go down the road here, a big ridge of high pressure starts to build here in the Rockies. And basically warm air will reside in this sector right here. This is where things start to warm up. There'll be downslope flow here and a lot of wind over the Rockies. And then this is modified air. So much of this stuff here in the Great Plains is going to be pretty mild. So a warming trend there in the wake of the latest storm producing all the cold wind. And then another storm system comes ashore in California right here. It just never ends, right? This one we're going to watch carefully, and we'll move forward here midweek. See, this is Tuesday about noon. This could be something to watch, especially into Wednesday. I'll just take a look here. Here's Wednesday, about 18Z. So this particular model, unlike the European version of this, has a much flatter, almost zonal flow here with little disturbances in it. Whereas the European model is a little more wavy, so it allows more instability to ride up ahead of this on Wednesday. So again, it's a good example of always checking to see if the two major models are in agreement. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to talk to too much with too much intelligence a week out here. We're just going to have to wait and see. But certainly it is an active storm pattern, so anything could happen a week from now for sure. And to wrap things up, here's the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Tuesday through Saturday of next week, much warming through the Mississippi River Valley, much of the East Coast, especially focused on Virginia and the Carolinas. Cool out in the West. That continued progression of storms helping to fuel that. And and going along with that would be a lot of rain. So precipitation outlook, of course, mountain snows with this, but a lot of rain expected in California. Good news for any fire concerns, and generally kind of a wet pattern across the northern tier of the states, with only Texas experiencing some dry conditions for much of next week. Thanks for watching this edition of Weather to Watch. It comes out every other day, or as the weather necessitates. Please remember to share this with your friends, subscribe to the channel, or at the very least, like what you just watched. Thanks.